He thought the blind date was over, but the billionaire was still waiting for the single dad. The winter sun hung low over the city, soft and hazy, casting long shadows across the quiet street where Rowan Hale stood, clutching the straps of his worn backpack as though holding himself together. He was a single dad, exhausted from juggling 2 part-time jobs, barely making rent, and doing everything he could to give his 8-year-old daughter, Lila, a life that felt safe. He never imagined himself on a blind date. He barely had the luxury of proper sleep, but his best friend insisted he try, insisted he deserved kindness again. So Rowan forced himself to breathe, straighten his thrift store shirt, and step into the cafe bathed in warm early afternoon sunlight. He didn't know then that this day would change the trajectory of his life. Before we continue, if you believe in kindness, second chances, and unexpected blessings, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Dream Journal to help stories like this reach more hearts. The date had been arranged with someone named Emery Quinn, supposedly a gentle soul, someone who didn't care about status. But when Rowan arrived, clouds forming in his stomach, he found an empty table and a kind barista telling him that Emery had stepped out just for a moment. Rowan waited. 5 minutes. 10. Then 30. The cafe was bright with daylight gleaming through the tall windows, but inside him, something dark and familiar stirred a belief that people like him were forgettable. After an hour, Rowan quietly gathered his things and whispered an apology to no one. He believed the blind date was over long before it ever truly began. He stepped outside, feeling embarrassed, almost foolish for thinking anyone would want to spend their afternoon with a man still stitching his life back together. His shoes scuffed the sidewalk as he walked toward the bus stop, the cold air pinching at his cheeks. But just as he approached the corner, a sleek black town car pulled up, and someone stepped out, a person with presence so commanding that strangers slowed down without meaning to. Rowan froze, confused, because he recognized the face from magazines displayed on newsstands, Emery Quinn, the billionaire philanthropist who rarely made public appearances. Tall, composed, sharply dressed, with sunlight glinting off a silver watch, Emery looked like he belonged in places Rowan could only pass by. Rowan's stomach dropped. He instantly assumed there had been some kind of misunderstanding. Why would someone like Emery Quinn show up to meet someone like him? He turned away, ready to escape before humiliation could deepen. But Emery moved with quiet intensity, crossing the street with purposeful strides. Rowan felt his footsteps falter when he realized Emery wasn't heading into the cafe. He was heading straight toward him. The moment was surreal, almost cinematic. Daylight flared behind Emery as he stopped in front of Rowan, catching his breath, as if he had been searching for him longer than expected. Rowan felt a lump rise in his throat. This wasn't pity in Emery's eyes, it was sincerity. He hadn't been stood up. Emery explained that he had stepped away for a business emergency, and when he returned to the cafe, Rowan was gone. He apologized deeply, genuinely, and Rowan felt something inside him soften. But even then, Rowan hesitated, feeling out of place beside someone so polished. Emery sensed it. With a graceful calmness, he asked if Rowan would give the afternoon another chance, offering to walk with him to the nearby park where the sunlight settled beautifully over the open lawns. Rowan reluctantly agreed, unsure why someone like Emery would insist, yet unable to deny the gentle steadiness in his voice. As they walked, Rowan slowly opened up, sharing bits of his life, raising Lila on his own, losing his wife to illness, working endless shifts, trying to stay hopeful. He wasn't trying to impress anyone, he was simply tired of hiding. Emery listened with rare attentiveness. Not sympathy. Understanding. Emery confessed that his wealth often trapped him in a world of guarded intentions and polished conversations. Meeting someone honest, grounded, and unfiltered felt refreshing in ways he hadn't expected. The icy distance Rowan initially felt between them began to melt in the daylight. Emery asked about Lila, and Rowan's face lit up for the first time that day. He spoke about her drawings, her bright laughter, her stubborn bravery. Emery's smile deepened with every word, and Rowan realized he hadn't spoken this openly to anyone in years. They ended up spending hours in that sunlit park, watching children play, sharing stories about struggles, failures, hopes. Rowan noticed that Emery never once looked at his phone. That alone felt like a gift he didn't know he needed. For the first time since his wife passed, he felt seen not as a burden, not as a charity case, but as a person worthy of presence. When the afternoon light began to soften, Emery asked if he could meet Lila someday. Rowan felt his heart tighten, overwhelmed by the sincerity behind the question. For a moment he didn't answer, holding the weight of the moment carefully. Then he nodded, not because he felt obligated, but because something about Emery felt safe. By the time they reached the cafe again, it no longer felt like a place of rejection. Instead, it marked the beginning of something unexpected. Emery suggested meeting again next weekend, insisting gently that this wasn't a one-time moment but the start of something genuine. Rowan felt the air shift around him, a strange warmth seeping into places inside him he thought were permanently cold. As he boarded the bus home, sunlight spilling in through the windows, Rowan stared out with a quiet smile. For the first time in a long time, hope didn't feel like a distant dream, it felt like a hand he was finally reaching back for. If this story touched your heart or made you believe in unexpected kindness again, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Dream Journal. Your support helps these emotional stories reach more beautiful souls like you. Before we end, I have one special request: comment below what moment made you feel the most emotional.